My name is Liam Chow.
My name is Noah Burnett.
My name is Noah Smith.
My name is Cole Saunders.
My name is Andrew Helford.
This is our presentation about nuclear energy. Let's start off by introducing what nuclear energy is and how it works. Andrea Galindo from the International Atomic Energy Agency states that nuclear energy is an energy source released from the nucleus of an atom. This can be released in two ways. Firstly, being nuclear fission, which is when a nucleus separates into two parts. It can also be produced in nuclear fusion, which is when multiple nuclei fuse together. Nuclear energy is a renewable source, which means that the source does not deplete when being used. It is produced in nuclear power plants found across the world, 31 of which are currently used. The amount of these power plants results in the popularity of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is used in over 50 countries, making it somewhat utilized and popular. It is 9% of the world's total electricity comes from it, and around a quarter of the world's low-carbon electricity comes from it. This electricity is produced using around 440 nuclear power reactors found across the world. These numbers are from the World Nuclear Association. This leads us to ask, why don't more people use nuclear energy, and why is it thought so poorly upon? This takes us to the problem, which is, despite the fact that nuclear energy has been proven as a viable energy source, it still carries a negative connotation in the society and also carries a poor media portrayal. So, how do we fix this problem?
Solution number 1, spreading awareness about people's incorrect biases towards nuclear energy. Before we dive into the solution, it's important to take a look at why nuclear energy has such a negative connotation in the public eye. According to the Nuclear Energy Agency, only 20% of people have a positive opinion when it comes to nuclear energy. And this is due to two key factors. The first being historical incidents. Historical incidents, such as the Chernobyl power plant disaster, give people a false fear when it comes to nuclear energy. And it makes them think that by having nuclear power plants or nuclear energy near them, that they may be at risk, which is not the case. Another thing that contributes to this negative perception is negative media portrayal, as shows such as The Simpsons use nuclear energy as a gag, portraying it in a negative light by making jokes about health risks and safety risks that accompany nuclear energy. So, how can we inform people, and how is this actually beneficial? There are two key ways that we can inform the public of their negative biases towards nuclear energy. The first is by implementing it into school curriculums. By implementing this into school curriculums, it would teach people at a younger age of how much nuclear energy has progressed and how much safer it is now than it was in the past, which would help improve public perception in the coming years. As these students get older, they would recognize the benefits that nuclear energy actually has. The second way we can implement this solution is by government-backed nuclear energy programs. As the government backs or supports a nuclear energy program, it shows the people that not only do they think that nuclear energy is safe, but also that it is beneficial, which may help change the minds of some people who have negative opinions on nuclear energy or who think that it is unsafe and dangerous. As for how this solution helps, by informing people of their negative and incorrect biases towards nuclear energy and showing them that it is safer and more beneficial than they thought. This would allow nuclear energy to be implemented more across the country and to advance to an even better point.
Another solution is to highlight the benefits of nuclear energy and spreading light on misinformation relating to it. One such not well-known fact relating to it is that the U.S. already relies heavily on nuclear energy. Richard Rhodes, an acclaimed author and speaker, says that in 2016, nuclear power plants generated around 20% of all nuclear energy. With this number on the rise, it is already showing it can be dependable. In fact, Rhodes also shares that nuclear power plants have a capacity factor of 92.3%. This means that they are online for about 330 days out of the year. This is a giant difference compared to the other common energy generators, such as wood and coal. And while many still may believe that these risks outweigh the benefits of nuclear energy, That too is an uninformed opinion. According to Jeffrey Mann and Rebecca Terrell of New American, there have only been 3 major accidents in the past years relating to nuclear energy meltdowns. This is out of the 667 total nuclear power plants built since 1951. They also did a report measuring the deaths per 1,000 terawatt hours of energy production, where nuclear energy had 90. Comparing this to the 150 for both wind and solar, and the huge 100,000 deaths for coal, nuclear energy is in fact a very safe alternative. All in all, when you look past the awful misinformation and misconceptions relating to nuclear energy and the negative connotation, it is easy to see the great potential of nuclear energy has.
So there are multiple reasons why solution 2 is better compared to solution 1. One of the reasons solution 2 is better than solution 1 is that it has the least amount of deaths compared to all other common forms of energy generation. Another big factor of why it could be better is that nuclear energy power plants are operative far more days out of the year compared to its competitors, and they also have the capacity to produce 2 times more than the second leading possible factor, which is wood. And then some reasons why solution 1 may be worse is that in order to implement stuff about nuclear energy into schools, is that it would have a high cost to implement them into new different curriculums, and it may sway the public's opinion. However, to the officials that are actually voting on the different changes to nuclear energy, it may not sway their opinion as much since it is in the school systems.
To conclude, nuclear energy is one of the most powerful and reliable energy sources we have today. It plays a crucial role in generating low-carbon electricity, helping reduce our dependency on fossil fuels. Despite its benefits, nuclear energy carries a negative reputation due to the spread of misinformation portrayed by the media. People don't realize just how safe nuclear energy is compared to other energy sources. Recent studies from Ruben Berg Matheson of Visual Capitalist, coal had 1,230 times more deaths and 273 times more carbon emissions than nuclear energy. By educating the public and highlighting the real benefits of nuclear energy, we can work on changing this negative perception. Then this is our big deal.